What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today I am wearing my Rolex OP 36mm turquoise dial, 6.5-inch wrist, which I wore in last night's Q&A. And so I just wanted to do a quick video because I did get a question, which I'm still going to feature on the Q&A for next week, but I think this kind of bears repeating because I've done a video on this before, especially now that Rolex have come out with different colorways in their OP line. And especially with the turquoise still being very sought after and still a very expensive watch. And the question was, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the question in front of me, was basically, how do you know if you're purchasing on the secondary market a turquoise dial or any other OP? Is there anything that can, differentiate the fact that it's a real dial from a fake dial, an aftermarket dial, so to speak? And because what happens is you can get like a black OP or a silver OP, and what some people do, they'll get these dials made that are, like the turquoise dial, for instance, that are just, beautiful. They look exactly like the OP dial, but they're not. They're aftermarket. And they install that into the watch because that will put the value back up, say from whatever price it would be on the secondary market, and it will, basically double or triple that price. And then they'll, unbeknownst to the buyer, thinking they're getting a turquoise dial, when in actual fact that watch was not born with that dial. It was born with, say a silver dial or a black dial or whatever other color dial came on that watch. The watch is authentic, but the dial isn't. You take that to Rolex for any reason, and they're going to reject it and say basically it's a fake watch. So how do you know whether or not, again, this is for the secondary market, not buying from an AD, if your dial is authentic? Is there anything that comes in that packaging that tells you what color dial that is? And there is. So when you, especially on the secondary, you got to be really careful who you're dealing with, and you have to really know, it's been said before, you have to buy the seller, not the watch they're selling. You have to really trust that person and hope that they're, being legit with you and that they understand, right? So this is what happens when you buy a brand new Rolex from the AD. Now, keep in mind, there are some ADs that don't include the full set with the watch. I don't know why, couldn't tell you, but for the most part, in the United States, you're going to get a certain, you're going to get tags and booklets. So for instance, here's the box. Okay. This is what you want to look out for when you buy your Rolex OP, whatever color, the new purple one, the beige, the pistachio, the matte blue, whatever it is, because now that we've got these colorways coming out, we're going to find, right now it seems like the pistachio is about going to be the most sought after. Okay, so that's not going to deter these people that make aftermarket dials. And I say aftermarket, they're just basically counterfeit. They aren't aftermarket, they're counterfeit dials is what they are. Don't know, when people say aftermarket, that's just a nice way of saying counterfeit. Simple as that. Putting Rolex on a dial that is not an actual Rolex dial is counterfeiting. It is an aftermarket. All right, so you first get the box. This is the new box that came with this watch. And what you should get in the watch and in the box, I apologize, is you're going to get the new box, or, it doesn't have to be the new box because these watches came out in 2020, right? And here's your box. You also have to be careful you're not buying a fake Rolex box either, because there's a lot of counterfeit boxes that look real as well, so you have to be careful of that too. And some people sell authentic Rolex in fake boxes. So there's a whole bunch to it, okay? But what you're going to do is once you get to inside here, you're going to have your booklets, right? Those are your booklets, and you're going to have your card, your warranty card. Now, the warranty card, if you hold that up to your phone, there's, I don't know what you call it, but it's going to bring you to the Rolex website. It's a hidden little thing. And you're going to get your tags, okay? So you're going to have your superlative chronometer tag that tells you the watch is a superlative chronometer. You can actually buy these on eBay, so that's another thing, okay? But what's going to tell you what is this dial? Was this an actual turquoise dial that came with this watch? Well, I bought this watch from the AD, so I know it's legit, right? So you're going to get, you want to get what's called the full set. For anyone who's purchasing it. Anyway, if you're buying on the pre-owned secondary market, make sure that if you're going to buy one of these watches, ask them, is it a full set? Does it have this, the white hang tag? But what is this? What is this? What does it matter, right? Well, this white hang tag actually has a code on it. I'm not going to show you the code, and it will tell you which dial is associated with this watch. So for instance, say for instance you bought this on the secondary. It's got a turquoise dial, but initially it was born with a black dial, and you get that tag. That tag is going to basically say that watch was born with a black dial. Now, can these tags be counterfeited? Absolutely. I mean, it's just a piece of plastic, you know what I mean? But you have to be careful, and you have to know how to read the tag. So in essence, when you are buying on the secondary, don't get fooled by all the counterfeiting that goes on, because you're looking at a $6,400 watch, and then on the secondary, I don't know, $15,000. You spend $15,000 on a turquoise dial watch. I'm just using that hypothetically. I mean, I don't know what the secondary is on these right now, but you get that watch that essentially, if it had a black dial on it, you could have got that watch for $6,000 on the secondary market, maybe $7,000 or whatever. But the thing is that's what you have to look out for when you're buying Rolex on the secondary market with the Oyster Perpetuals. I'm not talking about GMTs. I'm not talking about anything else, but the OPs specifically, because those are the ones with the colored dials. And for some reason, the OPs went from being sort of what people call an entry level watch. I don't ever call it that, to now it's a sought after watch. They're extremely difficult to get. So what do people do? Whatever they can to try to fool you into purchasing a watch that was not born with that. And then it's basically a fake dial. They also asked me if you use a loop, can you tell? Well, not always, because some of these dial manufacturers that make these do such a good job of replicating them that you wouldn't be able to tell. Rolex would be able to tell, but at the same time, the general sort of population isn't going to be able to just look through a loop and go, yeah, that's fake. You know what I mean? Now, there's different levels of fake as well. So some you might, you know what I mean, depending on what it is as far as that goes. But with all these colors, you've got green, you've got pink, you've got the pistachio, you've got purple, you've got the silver dials, you've got all these different colors that, again, can be, replicated with those dials. And then the ones that were discontinued, like the mustard yellow looking one, or the, what other one was that? The coral red, all of these, there's all kinds of, I say fraudulent, but, fake dials out there. They're not aftermarket. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video, which is still over 8 minutes, but I appreciate everyone. Hope you like, subscribe. I hope this video helped, and I appreciate it. Thanks.